stop what you are doing right now. Because if you or someone you love worked before 1997, your monthly Social Security check may be about to go up. And for some people, we are talking about hundreds of dollars more every single month. This is not a rumor. This is not clickbait. This has been confirmed, and today I am going to walk you through exactly what changed, who it affects, and what you need to do right now to make sure you get every dollar you are owed. Let me start by telling you something that a lot of people do not know. For decades, and I mean for over 40 years, there were two laws buried deep inside the Social Security rulebook that quietly reduced the benefits of millions of hardworking Americans. These laws hit teachers, firefighters, police officers, nurses, and government workers especially hard. They also hurt the widows and widowers of these workers, people who spent their whole lives doing the right thing and still ended up with less than they deserved. Those two laws were called the Windfall Elimination Provision and the Government Pension Offset, and for the longest time, advocates, retirees, and members of Congress fought to get rid of them. Well, I am here to tell you that fight is over, because the Social Security Fairness Act was signed into law, and those two provisions have been repealed. Gone, done. And that means real money is coming back to real people. If you spent even part of your career working in a job that did not pay into Social Security, like a state or local government job, this update is directly about you. Now, I know some of you watching might be thinking, well, I heard about this before, but nothing ever changed for me. I understand that frustration completely. But this time it is different. The law has actually passed. The repeal is in effect. And the Social Security Administration is in the process of recalculating benefits right now. So if you have been sitting on the sidelines, waiting, wondering, hoping, today is the day to pay close attention. Let me break this down in the simplest way I possibly can because you deserve to understand this clearly. For a long time, if you worked in certain government jobs that had their own pension systems instead of paying into Social Security, the government had a rule that reduced your Social Security benefit when you retired. It did not matter how many years you also worked in a regular job and paid into Social Security. The government still cut your check. That was the Windfall Elimination Provision. And honestly, a lot of people thought it was deeply unfair, because it was. Then there was the other rule, the Government Pension Offset. This one was even tougher. It targeted spouses and surviving spouses. So let's say your husband or wife worked in one of those government jobs. If they passed away and you tried to collect survivor benefits from Social Security, that rule could reduce your survivor check by 2/3 of your pension amount. For a lot of widows and widowers, that wiped out their survivor benefit entirely. Not reduced. Gone. That is how powerful that offset was. Now here's the part most people miss. These rules did not just affect people who worked their entire careers in government. They affected people who split their time. Maybe you worked 20 years as a teacher and 15 years in the private sector. Or maybe you were a firefighter for part of your life and then moved into a different industry. Even a few years in one of those non-Social Security covered jobs could trigger these reductions. That is why the number of people affected is so much larger than most folks realize. With those rules now repealed, those reductions are gone. People who had their benefits cut will start receiving higher payments. And for those who had survivor benefits completely wiped out, there is now the potential to receive benefits they never got before. Now let's talk specifically about who this affects, because I want you to hear your situation in this list. First, public school teachers. If you spent your career educating children in a state where teachers did not pay into Social Security, this is about you. Many states across the country had, and some still have, separate pension systems for teachers. If you worked in one of those states and also worked other jobs that paid into Social Security, you may have had your benefit reduced. Not anymore. Second, police officers and firefighters. Same situation. Many law enforcement and fire departments operate under separate pension systems. You put your life on the line, and then you retired to find out that Social Security was going to give you less because of where you worked. This law says that was wrong and it is being corrected. Third, state and local government employees. This is a broad category that covers everyone from city clerks to county workers to state agency employees. If your employer had its own pension plan and did not withhold Social Security taxes from your paycheck, you were likely affected by these provisions. This is where it gets serious. Fourth, and this one is critically important, spouses and surviving spouses. If your husband or wife worked in one of these jobs and they have passed away, you may have been denied survivor benefits or received a heavily reduced amount. With the government pension offset repealed, that calculation changes. Widows and widowers are now potentially eligible to receive survivor benefits they were previously denied entirely. Fifth, divorced spouses. If you were married for at least 10 years to someone who worked in a government position covered by these old rules, and you are currently collecting or eligible to collect benefits based on their work record, this change may affect your check as well. And sixth, anyone currently receiving SSDI, meaning Social Security Disability Insurance, who also has a government pension from non-covered employment. This community of people has often been overlooked in these conversations, but they are absolutely included in who stands to benefit. Example 1. Dorothy, retired school teacher, age 71. Dorothy taught 4th grade in Ohio for 28 years. Ohio teachers do not pay into Social Security, so she has an Ohio teacher's pension. But before she became a teacher, Dorothy worked at a grocery store, a medical office, and a retail job for about 16 years combined, paying into Social Security the whole time. When she finally retired, she expected to collect around $800 a month from Social Security on top of her pension. Instead, because of the windfall elimination provision, her Social Security check was reduced to just under $400 a month. For years, Dorothy accepted that. It felt unfair, but she thought that was just the way things worked. With this new law in place, Dorothy's benefit will be recalculated. She could see her monthly Social Security payment increase by $300 to $400 a month. Over the course of a year, that is potentially $3,600 to $4,800 more in her pocket, money that was always supposed to be hers. Example 2. Raymond, widower, age 76, former city employee. Raymond's wife, Linda, worked her entire career in the private sector, paid into Social Security faithfully for 35 years, and passed away 4 years ago. Raymond himself retired from a city public works department, which had its own pension. When Raymond tried to collect survivor benefits based on Linda's work record, he was told that 2/3 of his city pension would be offset against Linda's survivor benefit. His city pension was large enough that Linda's survivor benefit was reduced to zero. Raymond received nothing from her 35 years of contributions. With the government pension offset now repealed, Raymond can now apply for those survivor benefits. Depending on Linda's earnings record, he could start receiving a monthly survivor check that significantly changes his financial picture in retirement. If you do nothing, you may lose retroactive money. Here is the hard truth that nobody likes to talk about. The Social Security Administration does not automatically know everything about your situation. They work from the records they have. And while they are working to recalculate benefits for people who are already in the system, there are people who were never approved for certain benefits in the first place because of these old rules. If you are in that category, if you were denied survivor benefits or spousal benefits years ago, you may need to reapply. And if you do not reapply, you could miss out on retroactive payments that you are legally entitled to. Let me say that one more time because it is that important. There is the possibility of back pay, retroactive payments, money for months already passed, but only if you take action. The people who sit back and wait, assuming the government will figure it all out and send them a bigger check automatically, some of them will be fine. But others will fall through the cracks. And in your retirement, you cannot afford to fall through the cracks. There is another thing I want to warn you about. Right now, because this is such a significant change, there are going to be people out there trying to take advantage of you. Scammers will call, they will send letters, they will say things like, "We can help you get your new Social Security raise for a small fee." Let me be very clear. You do not need to pay anyone to access your benefits. The Social Security Administration services are free. Do not give your Social Security number, your bank account information, or any money to someone who contacts you out of nowhere claiming to help you with this. All right, let's talk about what you should actually do right now. I am going to walk you through this step by step so you can feel confident taking action. Step 1. Figure out if you are in the affected group. Ask yourself, did you ever work in a job where Social Security taxes were not taken out of your paycheck? Common examples are state or local government jobs, certain public school systems, some nonprofit or railroad jobs. If the answer is yes, even for just a portion of your working years, you need to keep reading. Step 2. Check your My Social Security account. Go to ssa.gov and log into or create your My Social Security account. This is completely free. In that account, you can see your earnings history, your estimated benefit, and any benefit you are currently receiving. Review it carefully. If something looks different than what you expected, or if you were previously told you had zero survivor or spousal benefit, flag that for follow-up. Step 3. Contact the Social Security Administration directly. You can call them at 1-800-772-1213. They have representatives who can look at your specific record and tell you whether and how your benefit will be recalculated. Be patient. Call volumes have been very high as this law takes effect, but do not give up. This call could be worth thousands of dollars to you. Step 4. If you were previously denied benefits because of the windfall elimination provision or the government pension offset, file a new application or a request for reconsideration. Do not assume that a denial from years ago still stands. The legal landscape has changed. You have the right to reapply under the new rules. Step 5. Gather your documents. Before you make that call or visit your local Social Security office, collect your Social Security card, your most recent Social Security statement, any pension documents showing your government pension amount, and your birth certificate or other proof of age. Having these ready will make the process go much faster. Step 6. Consider speaking with a Social Security benefits counselor or a retirement financial advisor who specializes in this area. This is especially important if your situation is complicated. For example, if you have multiple pensions, a mix of covered and non-covered employment, or if you are a surviving spouse dealing with multiple layers of benefits. A professional can help you understand the full picture and make sure you are not leaving money on the table. Step 7. Talk to your family, your siblings, your adult children, your friends from your old workplace. If they fall into any of the categories I described today, tell them about this. So many people who are affected have no idea this change happened. They are going about their days with less money than they should have, and they do not even know it. You sharing this information could genuinely change someone's life. I want to close with something personal. The people who are affected by this change did not ask for anything they did not earn. You worked. You showed up. You paid into the system when you could, and you served your communities through government jobs when you could not pay into Social Security directly. You became teachers who shaped generations of children. You became firefighters who ran toward the flames when everyone else was running away. You became the clerks, the utility workers, the administrators who kept cities and towns running every single day. And for decades, the rules of the system punished you for that service. That was not right. And now finally something has been done about it. This does not fix everything. There are still challenges in the Social Security system. There are still people who struggle. But this particular chapter, this long, frustrating fight over two unfair provisions, has reached an ending that the people fighting it actually deserved. And I want to make sure that you and everyone you care about gets every dollar that is now rightfully yours. Please do not wait. Do not put this on the back burner. The steps I gave you today are simple, and they could make a real difference in your monthly income, in your ability to pay your bills, your prescriptions, your groceries, in your peace of mind. If this video helped you understand something you did not know before, please hit that like button right now. It only takes a second, but it tells me that this kind of content is helping people, and it helps more seniors just like you find this information when they need it most. And if you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe. We cover Social Security updates, retirement benefits, Medicare changes, and government news that directly affects your income and your quality of life. Every single week. You do not want to miss what we have coming up. Most importantly, please share this video. Text it to a friend. Post it in your family group chat. Send it to someone you know from your old job who might be affected. One share from you could mean hundreds of dollars more per month for someone who needs it. That is the power of information in the right hands. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.